Hey everybody, hope everybody's doing well today. Been a while since I seen you guys, about a week. Been sick again. Been in the bed trying to recuperate, and it's been a tough week. Been a very, very tough week. Today I want to talk about being tested. I've kind of hinted around this subject a little bit in my other videos, but today I'm going to talk about being tested. So today, it's kind of funny to me now. So today I had a lawnmower I was selling. Nothing wrong with it. It rides good, cuts good, starts right up. There's no problems with it, none whatsoever. Never had a problem out of it since I've owned it. Not one. Not one. I just hop on, crank it up, and cut grass. I mean, it's a lawnmower. That's what it's supposed to do. So, had a guy that wanted to buy it. So I drove an hour to bring it to the guy. He was a pretty nice guy. It was a mutual agreement between us. So I said, okay, cool, no problem. So I take it to the guy. I get to his house. I take the lawnmower key out of my pocket. I put it in the lawnmower. I go to crank it. It won't crank. It didn't crank. The motor was spinning over. It just did not want to fire up. Now I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, come on, man. I ain't had no problem. And the guy that's buying it is standing right here in front of me. Right here in front of me. Right in front of me. And the lawnmower don't want to start. It don't want to fire up. I'm like, Lord have mercy. I'm like, come on, you got to be kidding me. This can't be real right now. And I look up, and right in front of the guy, I'm like, Lord help me, please. I finally, after about 5 minutes, putting the choke on and going to crank it up, it just didn't want to fire up. It was trying. It just didn't want to fire up. So at this point, I'm pissed. I'm mad. I'm mad and very, very, very embarrassed. Why would I drive an hour to sell somebody something that don't work? And the guy's sitting there, he's scratching his head, he's looking, he's like, eh. And I'm getting more and more frustrated and more embarrassed. I try to make sure none of the safety switches on it got, disconnected on the way there. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. I figured out, I thought about it after the fact. The guy did not buy it, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't have either. I finally got it crunk up. After the fact, I was parked downward on the hill. I'm sure the carburetor bowl was already filled with gas, and I choked it, and I think I flooded it. Anyway, so I got it cranked. But by then, I had already wore out my welcome. I told the guy, I said, look, man, I'm sorry. It's not always what things look like. It's what they are, and he's just like, yeah, I understand. He's a really good guy, really nice guy. He handled it much better than I did. And he wanted it. He wanted to buy it just as bad as I wanted to sell it. But no. God had other plans. I just couldn't believe it. I've never had any problems with it. I crunk it up, drove it on my trailer to take it to the guy, no problem. I ain't never had a problem out of it. I get it to the guy's house, it didn't want to crank. It didn't want to crank. Crazy. Guess what? I got it home, put the key in it to take it off the trailer. Guess what? Crunk right up. I'm like, for real? And I was like, man, I'm being tested, man. It's just a test. That's all it is. It's just a test. So that's the story that that made me want to talk about being tested today. Man, I'm laughing about it now, but a couple hours ago I was really upset. I really was. I was pissed. I was mad, and I was so embarrassed. I was just in bad shape. Anyways, and then on top of that, this past week, I've had a stomach virus and been throwing up and pooping straight water for about 4 days, 5 days, sorry, 5. Yeah, 5. Lost some weight, couldn't eat, couldn't drink anything, couldn't keep anything down, coming out of both ends, man, at the same time. It's been tough. You know, I talked about it in a few videos ago about how over the last month and a half, my family's been sick with something every week for, you know, the last 4 or 5 weeks. And here I am again with something else. And it all started happening around the time I started making my videos talking about the Lord and the things that convict me and the things that, you know, I feel like the Lord lays on me to talk about to people. And it's just the irony of it all. It's no coincidence. It's God's plan, and sometimes you just got to let it be what it's going to be and just ride with it. Don't stop what you're doing. I've been hearing continuous voices in my mind like, man, you know, start back drinking again. Everything will be fine. You know, you never got sick while you were drinking. It's true. I really didn't. But I haven't done it, and I won't. You know, quit making your videos. You know, nobody's watching them anyway. Well, you got 40 views, 50 views. I've been hearing those things in my mind. The devil's been attacking me and saying these things like, you know, nobody wants to hear what you have to say and all of that. And just quit making your videos and go back to drinking and, you know, everything's going to be fine. Just do that. Quit making videos. Everything will be okay. You know, start back drinking. Everything will be fine. But I'm not giving in to that. I'm not giving in to that. I'm not giving in to that. There's going to be times in our lives where we're going to be tested. The Bible tells us this. We will be tested. We will be tested. We will be tested. But the Bible says, you know, you'll never be tested with beyond your means, and he'll always make sure that you're there, that you're able to endure it, and he'll help you endure whatever that test may be. And in Psalm 66:10, it says, "For you, O God, have tested us. You have tried us as silver is tried." And then in Proverbs 17:3, it says, "The crucible is for silver and the furnace is for gold. And the Lord tests hearts." And the Lord tests hearts. The crucible is for silver and the furnace is for gold. And the Lord tests hearts. Yes, indeed, he does. He tests hearts. He really does. He really does. He really does. He really does. He wants to make sure our hearts are in the right place and our minds are in the right place, and that we're making sure that we're keeping our eyes on him. A lot of times when people go through stuff and something pops up, like, you know, just something as simple as your lawnmower not starting, you know, they start freaking out and they make it a bigger deal than what it really is. And they may say things or curse God's name, or, you know, some people are just like that. They're that extreme. They're that careless with what they say. They ain't looking to blame anybody for anything just because something's not going the way that they want it to. But we can't act like little babies when we don't get our way, because it's just not going to happen. We're just not going to get our way all the time. It's not how life is designed to work. And that may not be God's plan for you. That might not be God's plan for me. Sometimes you just got to take it with a grain of salt, kind of like that situation with me earlier today. Just think about it and move on, and laugh about it and move on. There's no need in getting wrapped up in everything and looking at the negative of everything. Be positive about it. There's always something positive in a situation. No matter how small the positive may seem or be, there's always something positive there. And you just got to focus on the positive and quit focusing on the negative. We can't be negative Nancy's and blah, 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 complainers and whiners and blah, 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 blah. Just stop it, stop it, stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it. Anyways, the Lord tests hearts. So, you know, you got to make sure you're filling your heart with the right stuff and filling your mind with the correct things, and making sure that what you're seeing with your eyes are the correct things, and you're just feeding your soul the right stuff, good, godly, wholesome stuff, biblical stuff, you know, spiritual stuff, you know, things that are going to build your relationship with God and build your relationship and your faith with him, and all of those good things. We can't feed our souls with bad stuff. I have realized this in my own life, that the more you feed into negative things and watch negative things and listen to negative things and continuously see negative things, those things, they don't really take control of you or take over you. They feed your soul, and then next thing you know, you start thinking negatively and start seeing things negatively. And it's all about what you feed your soul. You got to feed it good stuff, you know, good wholesome stuff, so that way you're not corrupted. You know, you're not filled with bad fruit. A good tree cannot produce bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot produce good fruit. You know, fill yourself with good stuff, with good fruit. So that way, when you are being tested, You can fight that test with what God gives us, the weapon God gives us, and you could get it over with, learn from it, and move on, and not get caught up in it and drag something out and make it take longer than it should because you're not feeding yourself with the right things. Got to be good about it, be positive about it, feed your mind the correct stuff. And a big thing today for a lot of folks is music. Feeding yourself with good music, listening to good music, Christian music, praise and worship music, just listening to good stuff. And there's so much negative stuff in music today where they idolize and worship this and that. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of Illuminati or not. Some people think it's, this is a conspiracy, but I truly believe that it is real. I really do. There's so many videos out there where they're talking about their experiences with this kind of stuff. But it's very real. It is very, very real. And it's reflected in the music that is readily available for anyone to listen to. In the music videos, where you see people with the all-seeing eye, and they just like their third eye and stuff like that. Lord forgive me for doing that. I mean nothing by it. The devil has no power over me. But, and like owls and stuff like that, like Drake, the rapper Drake. Man, why do you got an owl in every video, man? Like at the end of like OVO, whatever that is. That's crazy. Do some research on it. I'll talk about it in another video coming very soon. But don't feed your soul with that crap. I've always been a very multicultural person, culturally diverse, and I've always listened to a lot of things: rock, rap, hip hop, R&B, country, Christian music, whatever you want to call it. I've listened to so much of that stuff, and I've thoroughly enjoyed all types of music. My wife's always been trying to tell me for the last several years that, man, you don't need to listen to that stuff. It ain't no good for you. It feeds your soul. It plays a part in your mind and what you think and stuff like that. And I've always been like, I'm not that easily influenced. No, I'm not. But then, like, sometimes you be in like the shower or, cooking dinner or something, and then you start reciting a verse you heard of one of these songs, and it might not be the best thing for you to be reciting. So I've started to eliminate that stuff from what I listen to and started listening to more positive things. So now when those verses pop into my mind, or whatever parts of the songs, different songs pop into my mind, I'm reciting good, wholesome stuff because that's what I'm listening to. You don't think about it like that, but if you break it down and you really do, that's kind of what it boils down to, man. You're just feeding your soul. The devil was the angel of music too, so don't be influenced by that stuff. Anyways, just food for thought. So remember, you will be tested. It's not about the test. It's about how you react to the test and making sure that you're ready at all times with the armor of God and filling your mind with good, wholesome, godly things. So that way, when you are tested, you are quick and swift to fight off whatever the temptation may be, whatever the test may be, and whatever comes along with it, and move on so you can get your life back on track and get your stuff back together and just keep right on chugging along like nothing ever happened. And let your faith be built. And that's what we're supposed to do. So I'm done today. I'll see you guys again very soon. Thank you guys for your support. As always, please like, share, subscribe. Trying to get the word of God out to people to build his kingdom. It's for his glory, not for mine. And I'm done. Bye-bye.